What's going on, guys? This is Aiden, Bandwagon Sports. This video is part 2 of our prediction series. Again, staying in the SEC. We're going to get through the whole SEC. We're going to Alabama today. We're going to be talking about each one of their games, wins, losses, and just overall how their team's going to perform. In week 1, first week of the college football season, starting out strong for Alabama, Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee's not beating Alabama. It's also at Alabama. It's Middle Tennessee. So that's 1-0 for Alabama. The next game, also at Alabama, but it is against Texas. And Texas is one of my favorite teams going into this season. It's one of my favorite teams in college football. They're going to be extremely good. They're one of my most underrated teams, and I expect them to do absolutely amazing this year. And I have them beating Alabama even though Alabama is at home in this game. I still have Alabama losing it. So that's 1-1. The next game, South Florida. South Florida, I mean, they're just not. South Florida's not a competitive team. They probably will never be. So that's 2-1. Ole Miss. I really like Ole Miss just as a team, but this year I don't see them doing a whole lot. They have a three-way quarterback battle going on. I think most likely it's going to be either Jackson Dart or Spencer Sanders. Walker Howard's not winning that. However, I mean, it's Alabama at home. Their best shot of beating Alabama was last year. Ole Miss is not winning that game. That's 3-1 for Alabama. At Mississippi State, I don't think that the Mississippi State team is going to be as good for the sole reason that they no longer have Mike Leach. Rest in peace, great coach. Loved him. They don't have him anymore. Their offense isn't going to be the same. Their team isn't going to be the same. I just don't see them winning this game. Or I don't see them losing this game. Alabama. Next week at Texas A&M, I'm hoping that this will be a great game and a solid game because Texas A&M, they had the number 1 recruiting class last year, and they didn't do anything with it. Mostly because they were freshmen. Their whole team was freshmen, and they have not had college football experience yet. However, I'm hoping Texas A&M will show improvement, and I'm hoping it will be a close game, but I will not bet on Texas A&M to win that game. Alabama 5-1 going into week 6, week 7, week 8. At home versus Arkansas. This is a nice stretch for Alabama, or it's a difficult stretch for Alabama, even though the next 3 games are all at home for Alabama. But Arkansas, not a very good team. I don't see them doing a whole lot this year. They were supposed to be a dark horse to win the SEC last year. No, not this year. They aren't good. Give me Alabama, 6-1. Tennessee, next week, Tennessee at Alabama. This is going to be an incredible game, much like it was last year. I thought Alabama was going to win the game last year. Tennessee shocked me because I thought Tennessee was overrated last year. But then Tennessee beat Bama, blew out LSU, blew out all those teams who you thought were supposed to be really good, except for Georgia. But I thought Tennessee was going to go in there and crap the bed. But they didn't. They held their own. They beat Bama. It was an exciting game. Um, I can't see them winning again. I mean, it's tough because like Tennessee I do is a much better team than Alabama this year. A much better team. However, the game is in Tuscaloosa. The game is at Alabama. It is extremely hard to play in Bryant Denny Stadium. I'm going to give the edge to Tennessee in this one. I think they just have too much firepower and the Tide cannot keep up. That is going to be 7-2 or 6-2, whatever we're at. 6-2. 6-2. Heading into the bye, and then they stay at home. They have LSU at home. LSU was able to beat them last year, in my opinion. The only reason they were able to beat Alabama last year was because they were playing in Tiger Stadium. They were playing in Death Valley. Their team very overrated. I like their offense. I like their team a lot, but they're not as good as people advertise them to be. They're gonna be like a 9-5 team, like they were last year, 9-3, 9-4, something like that. They're just not gonna be as good as they were last year. I can't see it. It won't happen. This is a win for Alabama, so 7-2, going into the next week at Kentucky. I could see this being a trap game for Alabama, but with as long as Nick Saban is at the helm for Alabama, I don't see them losing the games that they should win. I only see them losing the games that they could possibly lose. Like, if the game is way in favor to Alabama, I don't see them losing. So, with this Kentucky game, I don't see Alabama losing it, even though it is at Kroger Field, at Kentucky. It could possibly be a trap game, but I'm not I'm not counting on Alabama to lose that game. So Alabama 8-2, heading into week third week 12. At home, Chattanooga, chalk it up as a win. Chattanooga's not beating Alabama. Then the next week, that is 10-1 or 9-2 for Alabama. Next week at Auburn. That game is going to be good, despite Auburn not being very good last year. Hugh Freeze is turning that Auburn program around, and I love what Hugh Freeze is doing right now. However, I don't think they can have the same one-year turnaround that LSU did with Brian Kelly. I don't think that Auburn is going to be that great of a team. However, it is at Auburn. It is that is a tough place to play. But I don't see Alabama losing this game. I can see it being an extremely good game. I can see it being really close, but I do not have Alabama losing this game. I don't see a way they could do that. So I have Alabama going 10-2. Much like last season, it's possible for them to win the SEC West. They aren't winning the SEC championship. I don't see that happening. They have one of the most difficult schedules I have personally seen, but it's not as difficult as it would be if Alabama had to go to Tennessee or to LSU or to Texas. They got lucky with those. They got lucky that this year had that. That this schedule had that. I'm excited to see what this team does. I don't think that Alabama's going to be very good. I could see them losing more than two. I can see them losing like 3, maybe even 4 games, one to Auburn, one to LSU, in this season. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Um, Nick Saban's just too good of a coach to just let his team drop easy games like that, especially when they're at home and they're at a sucky team in Auburn. No matter how difficult the crowd is, I think Alabama's got that. Once again, 10-2. Most likely a lot like last year, making a New Year's Six bowl game, maybe a bigger non-New Year's Six bowl game, and most likely they're going to win that bowl game, despite not having the best quarterback play and not having the best offense. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Help me grow this channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.